Hi, Gavin here from Acupuncture Grove. In this video, I just wanted to give you a little rundown of what to expect from your first session here. So if you haven't been to see the clinic before, I've recorded another video with a little rundown of how to find us here, parking options, public transport options, a few other things. So just make sure you familiarize yourself with that if you haven't been here before. Once you're here, you're going to come on in. We're going to have a sit down and have a little bit of a chat. I want to get to know what's bringing you in, what can I help with, as well as some general health questions to give me a better overall understanding of what's going on. In Chinese medicine, it's really important that I treat you as a whole person, not just as a series of symptoms. So we want to get that foundation in the beginning. Once we've got that, I'll take you through a few different assessments. I like to have a feel of the pulse at the wrist and a check-in with the tongue. These are traditional Chinese medicine diagnostic techniques that I use. These just give me a little bit more information on what's going on internally, how to tailor the treatment for you, and yeah, just give me a little bit more information. From there, it depends what you're coming in for. We might have some range of motion tests, some muscle tests. I'll probably want to palpate different areas to get an idea of what's tight, what's sore, what we need to focus on. Essentially, before we start with any treatment, I just want to set a foundation for how you're feeling. And that's going to be our baseline. And some of those things we'll actually be checking back in with throughout the session to actually see if the treatment's doing what we want it to. So once we've got that laid down, then we're going to jump into the acupuncture part of it. So in acupuncture, we've got two main sort of approaches to treatment. We've got distal acupuncture techniques and local acupuncture techniques. So distal acupuncture is where I'd be using points distant to the affected area to try to signal your body to make changes in that area. I like to use this. We tend to get a better overall regulatory effect when we're using the distal acupuncture, as well as being able to sort of target specific areas. But I do also have local acupuncture techniques, which I will incorporate as needed, and that's where I'll be working in the area that I'm trying to affect directly. But I'll walk you through whatever we're doing in the session, so you know what to expect. So once we've gone through a complete session, at the end I'll give you a few things to pay attention to over the next few days, just to see how you respond. There might be some exercise or lifestyle modifications that I might give you as well, in addition to my recommendation in terms of like follow-up and treatment from there based on what we're working on. So that's a pretty basic rundown of what to expect in your first treatment. A couple of little FAQs I wanted to cover as well. So very common for somebody who hasn't had acupuncture before, you want to know, does it hurt? So it is normal to feel a little bit of a sensation where the point goes in. You can feel like a little bit of a dull, achy, heavy sensation, sometimes a little bit of a muscle twitch here and there. That's all totally normal and good, but it is super important that you feel comfortable and you can relax and rest while you're there. So everyone has a different sort of tolerance and sensitivity. So I'm always working with you in terms of adjusting the treatment for what's comfortable. So you don't need to worry about that. I work with a lot of people who are very sensitive to needles. So I've worked on some more gentle techniques where needed. Another common question is, what should I wear? If you just make sure you're wearing something loose and comfortable. If I can get easy access to arms, hands, legs, and feet, that's perfect. I mean, we might still do some points on the back or up on the legs or whatever. If we need to, I've got plenty of towels here and we could just drape you appropriately. So no real issues with clothing, just be comfortable. Another question, is this health fund rebatable? So as long as your health fund covers you for acupuncture, I can provide you with the receipt, and that'll have all the information you need to take back to your health fund and make a claim back with that. Finally, the big question is, how long is this going to take to help? So it's a little bit like asking how long is a piece of string. It's bit of a difficult question to ask because there's so many factors that go into what's going on. So how long has it been around for? Was there any accidents, injuries? What are the contributing factors? What's your general body's capacity to heal at that time? How do you respond to the acupuncture? A lot of different things come into play there. So what I usually recommend for new clients is I recommend we get what I call a rate of response, where we get the first 4 sessions or so. And within those sessions, that gives us a chance to gauge how the treatment is going. So for you, it gives you a chance to see if we're a good fit, if what I'm doing is good for you, if you enjoy the acupuncture, if you feel like you're getting some changes. And then for me, it gives me a chance to figure out how best to approach you, what's working, and maybe a little bit of an idea of what isn't. It gives me a little bit of a chance to adjust and change things to make sure that I'm doing the best I can for you. From there, we should get a pretty clear idea of how you're responding, and if necessary, we can come up with a treatment plan from there. So in terms of treatment plans, you kind of want to have a little bit of a think about what you're coming in for the acupuncture to help for. So 2 main things will be symptomatic relief, or you're looking for something more long-term, some corrective care. So either or, totally fine. If you're coming in for some symptomatic relief, maybe you've just got a bit of a sore neck, that's totally fine. I use acupuncture for that all the time. If it's just a short-term kind of issue, it's not bothering you too much, you'll probably find that we can get some good results pretty quickly and give you some relief and help you get on with life. And if you're not too worried about ongoing care, that's totally fine. You just come in as you need. But if you've got something a little bit more chronic, a little bit more long-standing, say you've got a long-term neck issue from a previous injury or series of injuries, you've done a bunch of different things, it keeps you up at night, you're stressed, and there's a lot of layers to what's going on, we're going to be thinking a little bit more long-term and a little bit more in the realm of corrective care. So I don't want to just try to make that feel a little bit better. We want to actually try to change the internal environment around that injury or around those internal processes, and help create a better internal environment that doesn't produce those symptoms or doesn't produce them as much, or it just more conducive to health and well-being. So that takes time, as with anything. Like if it's taken time to build up, it's going to take a little time to work on. But yeah, either way, just have a little bit of a think about what you're coming in for help with, and we can have more of a chat when you do come in. So if you have any questions between now and when I see you, please don't hesitate to reach out. Otherwise, I look forward to meeting you soon. Thanks. See you soon.